What up, my brothers and sisters? Um, Here is yet another version of me pointing out the bullshit and all the lies and how subtle it is. Okay? And I'm gonna give you 100 examples, and it's gonna be jumbled, but work with me here. If you stick with me long enough, I'll show you 100 more of the same examples to the point where you gotta be like, damn, that is what it is. For the most part, I could be wrong. A lot of people call me crazy. I can deal with that. I've been called everything in the book. But, but, buts, buts. When you see the patterns, then you notice the oddities. But patterns can also come in the form of routine or normal. First off, let's go with this. The earthquakes I'm looking at are bullshit. They might have happened, but these are the big ones that they'll honestly tell people have happened, per se. For instance, this one by Mexico is a 4.6 at 10 kilometers because they always say, well, they don't know the depth. Yeah, they do. Here's one over here. It's 4.6. It's 10 kilometers. You know why? Because people are always like, well, they put that as regular because they don't know the depth. Yeah, they do. Here's the SIG 326. And you'll see these numbers everywhere 100 times. Right there, SIG 326. What SIG means, I have no fucking clue. Don't need to. All I know is they always put, it doesn't matter anyways, because they always put the same damn number. And whatever it is, I can honestly tell you, I bet you it's 326. They're like, oh man, for not knowing much, you do know about it, right? And I'm like, huh, well, I mean, it says SIG and then there's always 326. It's not that hard. So anyways, same time, same thing. Look, storms again in the evening. It is 6:51, 7 p.m. I bet you, for the most part, for my blue area, as I've shown you for the past couple of days, is going to be dry. And everyone else is about to get bad weather. And that this is not rain. Look how it spins too. Look, I'm gonna show you the bad ones. Look how they all spin. Check it out. Alright, so check it out. If you didn't catch it, I'll go ahead and play it for you. Very slowly. Maybe if that didn't work for you, we could play super fast. Ready? You've got to have seen that one. Let's look again. Here we go. How about you pay attention to the one in the middle? Let's do it one more time so you can see what I'm talking about. Did you see that? One more time. Ready? Whee! That's what I'm talking about. I'm like that pig on what is that commercial? Where he's going down the street with two flags and he's like on a skateboard or something. He's just like whee! Plus that, and they're not telling you about a lot of the earthquakes. Okay. I can attest to this because of the odd weather. What I'm seeing and what I'm looking at, because when you're right underneath it, you gotta say it's like boots on the ground. I don't know, just saying, I could be wrong. I'm just saying though, just saying. So there's a lot more earthquakes than you think. There's a lot more ground shaking and frequencies than you think. There's a lot of gravity waves. There's a lot of his magma movement, earthquakes, volcanoes we didn't even know we had. And the sky has been flashing. Okay, maybe I've always known it to flash, but not like this. And this has been going on probably since, man, I don't even know, like 2 or 3 days, I suppose, if that. And I didn't even notice it at first. Somebody else noticed it. But they were basically saying they were looking at their phone, right? Whatever you're looking at, it doesn't matter. You could be watching SpongeBob. You could be reading something with a white, with a white background, so you can see the black letters. Um, They said that out of the corner of their eye, as they were looking at their phone, because I guess per se by the window, right? Like let's say you're in like a rocking chair next to the window or something, right? And the light's beaming in, but you're not really paying attention to it because it's like everyday stuff. So they're looking at their phone, and in the peripheral vision to the side, without having to look at it, they can see the sunlight beaming in. So all of a sudden they said that they noticed it. The only reason why they said they noticed it was because the screen on the phone flashed. Okay, so it kind of like blinked or like went low and went bright. However you want to put it. It usually goes low and bright for me, like a lot, but I didn't notice this was happening at the same time. They said that the light emanating from the sun that was beaming through, like it almost seemed like everything, even the light on the floor, flashed, like it blinked. So it kind of like on and off real quick, or it got like lower in power than. So I was like, oh wow, I was like, that makes sense, right? Because I was always saying, man, the sky is flashing, but this was different because then I noticed it. Because I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna look out for that, right? Well, I did. Without even having a meeting to. So when I did, I think I was in the bathroom, right? And I didn't have the light on because it was like bright enough to just like, I didn't need the light. It's sunny enough for me to like see everything I need to. Just put it that way. If you can imagine any place like that in your house, right? Like plenty of windows. You really don't, There is, but there was like shadows, right? But so as I came out the bathroom, I was like going back to the other room, and as I did, there's like some shadows there, right? So, but I saw it on the wall because there's like a window in the bathroom, right? Well, you got all the brightness of the day and all that, but then all of a sudden it was like the window like went pink on the wall, right? The window was not beaming on the wall before that, right? And I saw when it did, I was like, oh man, I just saw a flash. Okay, it's very fast and very subtle, but you will notice like there's been like it's almost like you got to do a double take and be like, man, did I really just see that or what just happened? Or like, that was weird, or whatever, right? But that's not the juicy part. The juicy part is I noticed it came from a different direction. Okay, came from a different direction. So this is probably about 11 a.m. Wherever the sun is and wherever it's about to set, give it like 2, 3 more hours. That's where I kind of feel like this other. I didn't see where it was, but that's what I'm guessing. You get what I'm saying? Judging from where it came from, it can't be that far. It's just a couple hours ahead. But there's another sun up there, and it's either dying or it's coming back, or it's trying to start, but it's like sparking. Does that make sense? It's creating a spark. It's just like a spark like flash, right? It's like that's kind of what it seemed like to me. Or the two suns are competing for each other. Maybe that's why there's always solar flares, right? But these just ain't solar flares, man. Because if we're seeing the sky flash like that, that's something else. They're like fighting with each other or something, right? Throwing flares at each other or something like that, man. I mean, maybe there is a beam that came off it and hit the atmosphere. I don't know. But I feel like it's more like something like that. You know what I mean? This makes sense because if you saw the compass video that I made, the compass didn't know which way I was going or where to point. Okay? That would make sense because it's fighting with two magnets, two very huge ones. Not to mention along with us and our own planet, the core, because the compass goes off the core. At least I think so. I could be wrong because we used to think a lot of things, and they were wrong.